What is a patent portfolio strategy for a software founder? In today's rapidly evolving software landscape, a strategic patent portfolio is essential for companies to maintain competitive advantage and maximize business value. With the software market experiencing a huge surge in patent filings, particularly in the AI space, developing a comprehensive IP strategy is crucial for protecting innovations and securing market position for your startup. So what are some strategic focus areas for patent protection? First, you need to protect your core software innovations. The most valuable patents in the software industry focus on tangible improvements and efficiency gains. Companies should prioritize patenting technology that solves specific technical problems or provide measurable improvements, as these are more protective and impactful IP than abstract algorithmic ideas that would be unlikely to be enforceable. So, what are some key areas for you to target? They include novel data processing techniques, improved software architecture, user interface innovations, security implementations, and performance optimization methods. Let's take one, user interface innovations. A significant part of the vibe coding methodology, code with voice. That is a novel user interface innovation, and that certainly is patentable. System architecture, same thing. LLM architectures are notoriously expensive to train and takes a long time. So if you have an architecture that speeds up this training, that's definitely something to explore. These technologies represent critical components that can provide significant competitive advantage in the software space, and that's why we recommend you look into that. What are some of the emerging white space opportunities? With the AI revolution, there's a lot of AI-driven software solutions. For example, Agentic AI is a space where you have autonomous agent that can take its own decision-making and can operate independent of a user. That is a huge area for growth. Privacy-preserving mechanism is also important. With AI running rampant, you don't want AI to learn the most financial or health data and then use that against the user. So privacy-preserving mechanisms will be in demand. Collaborative development tool is another area where there's a lot of innovations on. Multi-platform integration technology, different LLM technologies that have their own different strength, and you can, or different experts in running in different space, you can create very innovative solutions. So as an example, if you have an expert in healthcare, an expert in travel, an expert in purchases, and you combine them, you can have a very interesting solution to help travelers create a trip itinerary that is optimized to what they like and is safe. And you can avoid areas that might have perhaps health issues. So those are just off-the-cuff examples. Forward-thinking software founders should stake early claims in these white space areas to establish a strong competitive barrier and position themselves as market leaders. You also need to think about not just about your own country, but globally. So what are some global strategy considerations? First of all, you got to look at where your customer base is. And typically, it goes with the population and economic development. Probably you will want to consider the US, Europe, and China. Those are the rapidly growing area. But increasingly, you might want to look at investing in Africa. Africa is a great area for digital development because as a newcomer, they can leapfrog, jump right straight into the latest technology and then start competing from there. Think about where your customer base will be. Think of it where they are now, where they will be in a few years, and get patent protection in those jurisdictions and phase it out correctly. As far as implementation strategies, there are AI assistance and portfolio management approaches that you can use to manage the portfolio. As I said before, you want a portfolio with many layers, so that way it's more robust. What you want is to have a strong patent that maps to your competition. To manage this, the traditional approach to IP management can't handle the fast-moving environment, so you should look at AI-powered tools to help you First of all, there are AI tools to analyze the references and prior art for you. Consider the AI tools to help you build a portfolio. Power Patent, an example of a software that you can deploy with your inventors, and they'll take the ideas and they'll work with the inventors to create a first draft. And then you can forward it to your law firm to file, to review and file, and cut your overall costs while you're building your layered portfolio. The portfolio management, the AI can score patents based on novelty, strength, and industry relevance. And so it's going to help you target your filing. There are tools that will provide landscaping so that you can see where you are relative to your competition, where your competition is moving based on their patent filing, and that will give you insight to. So you should focus in the portfolio management approach. What you should do is implement a comprehensive IP plan with a systematic approach to IP creation and protection. And you should focus your IP on revenue drivers rather than the whims. If the inventor thinks this is a neat thing, but if it doesn't contribute to the revenue driver, then perhaps you might want to keep those neat things as a trade secret. Your legal and contractual considerations are also important. So you should have documentation in your employee agreement as well as a contractor employment, and make it explicit that the company owns the IP. The licensing agreement that you make with other companies should be carefully structured to provide operational flexibility while protecting your proprietary technology. Terms of use with third-party platforms or API must be carefully negotiated to ensure that you have the right to use the data for subsequent training, for example. So these things you can talk with your lawyer and raise this issue so that the proper terms of use can be applied. And so by proactively addressing these considerations, you as a software founder can better protect your innovations while minimizing legal risk, and as a result, you can increase the valuation of your company. So Patent PC is here to help. Please visit and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.